How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, that guy that makes videos sometimes. Anyway, so a thing happened literally yesterday, and I realized that in my absence, time doesn't, stop just because you're not paying attention to it at that particular moment in time. And what that means is Code Vein finally released its DLC. I realized this while I was sitting in a stream yesterday, and it just so happened to be a dude who was trying to just beat the game officially at that point so we could jump into the DLC at some point. I didn't even know that it fucking released. I have the season pass and I can get it right now, but I don't have it downloaded because I've been waiting to get a fucking video out about my goddamn full impression of the game and pulling it apart before I go into any DLC shit. So now I have to push everything forward for getting that video out, even though that I don't 100% have all the information quite ready, where I feel that I'm competent enough to tackle it 110%, but I'm going to do what I can with it. And I want to make a video that just goes over the annoyances that I do have with the game while also painting it in a positive light. Because there's obviously going to be that bias, because I really enjoy the fucking game. But I wanted to make sure that that is just right there on the table and actually objectively pulling the game apart and telling you what is really good, what is really bad, various other shit, and just actually really talking about the mechanics in the game and how well that they work. Not just as a game itself, but as a Souls game, which is one of the biggest things that I can really get into detail about with Code Vein, really, is that I tell everybody, aside from the joke that it's anime Dark Souls, is that it is a great game, but not so great of a Souls-like game, and that's going to step on some people's toes, but I have ways to back this up as well, and I want to make sure that I have that information right there, and I know what I'm talking about, and not looking like a fool in doing so. So like I said, starting from right when this video is done and over with, I'm going to be working on getting the audio and the narration together for said video. And I think it's going to wind up being a multiple video series because there's a lot of fucking things that I want to talk about with the game, including trying to really sell the point of whether or not that somebody should get the game, because with the DLC coming out, obviously the game is seeing a lot of new traffic, and people are wondering if it's worth getting the game, especially now that the DLC is out. And I want to, again, do a before the DLC look at the game, and then an after the DLC look at the game. And I'm going to do each individual one first before moving into the next one, and then, maybe eventually changing some points that I make prior, and the game's development, etc. I just want to see some things, hopefully with my own point of view, change over time. This is kind of more or less a social experiment for myself to see how that mindset of mine changes over time as things get updated and balanced and reworked in the game. Because, again, I really fucking enjoy the game. I think that there's a couple of things about it that just make it really, I don't know, like there was a lot of short sights with some of the basic mechanics, and like one of my biggest gripes about the game is the way poise is handled. It's called balance, and I don't know, it just feels like that every other enemy in the game can fucking walk by you and fart on you as they're walking by, and your character is getting knocked off of their feet, but you need to damn right just knock his teeth out of his fucking mouth, and he's still brooding through it, and punches you in the dick afterwards, and then you take a shitload of fucking damage that you gotta heal with, like, 3 fucking regenerations, because the game doesn't heal that much HP on a regeneration, and it's, like, there's a ton of shit that I would love to get into, but I can't do it here, and I want to make sure that all the information is right in front of me and properly there, and I just took a decent break from the game, and tried my damnedest to get all the information together for specifically, like, New Game Plus difficulties as well, because I want to make sure that that is good information and accurate information on people who are looking at the replay value of the game and all of that other fun shit. So that was the main thing that I was waiting on, was getting a good taste of New Game Plus and the bosses with the New Game Plus difficulty, and if it's fucking worth it. So I don't have that done still to this day, and I'm still waiting on 2 of the new depths maps that they made that are like a trial tower of floors to complete to be able to get 2 special gifts out of it. But with the DLC out, that also means that I need to keep the difficulty mode that I have right now before I go into the DLC, because I bet you $30 going into the DLC in enhanced difficulty mode is going to be a ball ache, and I don't need that in my life. So yeah, that about fucking sums up this video, guys. I went on a bit of a tirade there, but it's still short and sweet. 5.5 minutes is pretty solid. I did a lot more than 5.5 minutes of recording for fucking Dungeon Fighter Online in the background, just to make sure that I had enough stuff going on that just was rolling while I was talking and stuff. So, yeah. I will see you guys hopefully really soon with these videos. I have so much planning that I need to do for this, and so much time that I need to make sure that I'm spending towards accurately and properly doing this video, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. And I really hope that it winds up actually being seen by people and doesn't wind up being like my silent sit-downs where there's 10 views on it 2 years later and 9 of them were me. So on that note, I will officially end the video here, guys. I will see you later. Hopefully you catch that video when it becomes a thing. Later.